All right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is only for honors prep geometry students who have had Algebra 1, whereas our regular geometry students have not yet taken Algebra 1, so they would not be familiar with the skills necessary to carry out these next couple of slides worth of examples. So, the skill we are practicing here is we're taking an equation for a circle that is not written in standard form. It's written in what's called general form. And we are going to convert it into standard form. Now this process is going to require us to complete the square, which is an idea we should be familiar with from our work with quadratics in September. Those of you that are doubled up in Algebra 2 should be more familiar with this idea than those of you that are not doubled up and that are only taking honors prep geometry. But either way, we've covered this year in our honors prep geometry course, so it should be something we should be able to review. So the basic idea here is that we are going to take these equations and we are going to write them in descending order, and we're going to sort the terms by variable. So we're going to take x squared and minus 8x, we're going to put those next to each other, and we're going to be adding something in there. So we're going to put in a blank. Then we're going to put in the y squared plus 2y, and then another blank, equals negative 8, and we're going to add 2 blanks to that side because we're going to complete the square once on x and once on y to convert this into standard form. So when I say completing the square, we should remember that the idea of completing the square is really completing the perfect square trinomial. What I mean by that is we're trying to create a trinomial here whose two binomial factors are the same binomial. So remember that what we do is we take this value, negative 8, and we divide it by 2, which would be negative 4. We write that in the blank below. And then we square that number, and we write it in the blank. So negative 4 squared is positive 16. Whatever we add here is being added to the left side of the equation, so to stay balanced, we also have to add it to the right side of the equation. We're going to do that exact same thing for y. Okay? So we're going to do that with the y as well. So we're going to take the 2, we divide that by 2, which is 1, and then we square it to get 1. Whatever we add here has been added to the left side of the equation, so we also have to add it to the right side of the equation. Then we are going to add these three things together to get negative 8 plus 16 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So our answer here would be x minus 4 quantity squared plus y plus 1 quantity squared equals 9, which is written in standard form. I want to clean that up just a little bit before we continue because I don't feel like you can really read that I wrote square in there. Okay, so I'm just going to clean that up real quickly here by making it smaller. Okay, again, we take those numbers, we divide them by 2, and then we square them to fill the blanks. And whatever we put in the left blank has to match in the right blank. So let's do the next one here. Okay, again, we need to sort this thing out. So before we do anything, we need to move that 40 to the other side of the equation. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract 40 from each side of the equation. While we're at it, we're also going to rearrange the x terms so that they are together, x squared plus 8x, and then the y terms so they are together, y squared plus minus 14y. Be careful with that. Plus something, and then that would equal negative 40 with 2 blanks because we're going to have to add something for x and add something for y. So that would be x divided by 2 is plus 4, square 16. Copy that into this blank over here. Okay, we complete that square. Should remember this process from earlier in the year. And then we do the exact same thing for the y terms. Didn't get that size changed, did I? Come on, Ben. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing for the y term. Okay, so that would be negative 14 divided by 2. Would be negative 7. And then we're going to square that to get 49. Then we add these three numbers together. That would be 25. Negative 40 plus 16 is negative 24, plus 49 is positive 25. So again, we have completed the square, which gives us our standard form is x plus 4, quantity squared, plus y minus 7, quantity squared, equals 25. Okay, there are 3 of these on the next slide. I'd like you to pause the video and try those 3 examples on your own, and then resume the video to see how you did. I'm going to do those 3 examples much faster than I did these first 2 examples. Go. Okay, so once again, we already have things paired up here. We do need to insert our blanks. So x squared minus 6x plus something plus y squared plus 4y plus something equals 3 with 2 blanks. So that would be x minus 3 divided by 2, square it is 9, write it in the other blank, plus 4 divided by 2 is 2, square it is 4. So keep it balanced by copying that 4 and that 9 over into the blanks on the right side, add it all together, that is 16. So we are looking at x minus 3 quantity squared plus y plus 2 quantity squared equals 16. Okay, this next one requires a little bit of reorganization, so we'll do that and insert our blanks in one step. Okay, so we're looking at x plus 4 quantity squared. Square that is 16. Copy that into the first blank on the right side. Plus y minus 2 squared. Square that is positive 4. Add those up, that is 16. So that equation would be x plus 4 quantity squared plus y minus 2 quantity squared equals 16. And then finally, x squared minus 4x plus something plus y squared minus 2y plus something equals negative 1 with 2 blanks. X divided by 2 is negative 2. Square that as positive 4. Copy it into the first blank. Plus y. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Square it is positive 1. Don't need to write the plus now that I think about it. Let's get that cleaned up. There we go. 1 and 1. Add these 3 numbers up. That is 4. So that one would be x minus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 1 quantity squared equals 4. That does it for the third video. Again, this video is for honors prep geometry students only, as the regular geometry students do not have the baseline algebra skills necessary to carry out this particular slide. So quick check. Yep, that's where we want to be. Thank you for your time and attention.